Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Wave. I'm Courtney, and this is my new co-host.
Hi everyone, I'm Kate. I'm so excited to be hosting the third season of The Wave.
We not only have an amazing season in store, but also an amazing first episode. Let's take a look at this week's artist.
Joey Loretta.
Brand Merritt. We are Sleep Nation, thanks to The Wave and MTSU.
If someone was to offer me like a salary just to play music for the rest of my life right now, I'd drop my job right now and do it.
Ever since I picked up a guitar at like 14, of course, yeah.
So you started about the same age I did when I picked up my first pair of drumsticks around 14.
One of my best friends that is kind of like was the silent member of Sleep Nation. He passed away a month ago, but he did all the artwork and like our logos and all the single and album artwork he did. Super talented artist.
But we didn't know COVID would end up coming right after band members leaving. You know, that happens. Usually it always happens after you record something, but that's beside the point. But even with COVID coming along, venues started shutting down. There was not a whole lot of opportunities to play. We kind of had to rework how we performed in front of an audience and do things differently, even just as the new formation of the band as a two-piece.
I think it would be pretty notable to play Bonnaroo because I grew up,
Right there.
less than 20 minutes from Manchester. So I think it'd be really cool to play Bonnaroo.
I mean, it's as much fun as the local venues are. Every musician has that desire to kind of fill up a stage at somewhere, like a Ascend Amphitheater or Bridgestone or something, because it's a whole new level. You've made it to a different point in your career as a musician when you can do that, or even just the honor of even open for a major act is something. At least a step up from where you're at. Like I said, the techniques we've had to adjust to our writing material as a two-piece rather than having to work with multiple other individuals. Like, it's hard to explain it, but we can literally just sit there in the room and we'll come up with something and be like, okay, way to say this. Yeah. And we'll just plug it in somewhere on a song, and then we'll come up with a title and he'll come up with lyrics, and before you know it, it's a song.
I can't wait to hear them perform, but before that, let's keep you up to date with some music news.
Shawn Mendes recently announced his 2022 Wonder World Tour. He announced 64 dates throughout Europe, the United States, and Canada. He will also be making a stop in Nashville on October 19th of next year. The tickets for the tour will go on sale to the public October 7th.
If you are a Rihanna fan like myself, then I have exciting news for you. Rumors have been circulating around about her potential releasing new music. Rihanna posted about her new R9 album on her social media, but has not yet provided release date. We may not know exactly when fans will get to hear her new album, but we do know it will be soon.
Have you ever wondered how many streams September by Earth, Wind & Fire had on the 21st day of September? Billboard reported that this year the song was played more than 322% more than it was the day before. Overall, it had more than 2.5 million streams on the 21st night alone.
And that's it for music news. And we're back with Sleep Nation. How are you guys?
Doing wonderful.
Great. How are y'all doing?
We're doing good. And I love your jacket, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Very stylish.
I'm very proud of it. So.
You should be.
All right, so your song Headlights, if you could pick 3 hashtags to describe that song, what would you pick?
First off, that's a great question. I don't believe we've been asked that before. The first hashtag would definitely be the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees were definitely an inspiration for the bridge of that song. Second would be the Eagles. They were another inspiration for that song. And then last would be Last Kiss, which was a kind of our reinterpretation of that song, Last Kiss.
That's awesome.
Nice. Speaking about inspiration, who inspires you?
My biggest inspiration is Phil Collins. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He's huge in the 80s. Nobody knows about him now, but I mean, he's great,
You about hear him everywhere anyway, no matter where you're walking, so.
Yeah.
So, speaking of like different artists that inspired you and stuff, if you could have a collaboration with any artist, dead or alive, who would you pick?
Ooh. Bono.
Okay.
Bono? Okay.
I'd be jamming with Russian, you know it.
Well, are you talking about the Neil Peart?
Yeah, me and him would have a drum off.
Well, you'd have to bring him back from the dead. So.
I love that.
I love it.
Always love a good drum off.
The
Right?
best. So I heard you guys are performing a new song tonight. It hasn't
Yes,
been
that's
released
correct.
yet. Can you tell us a little bit more about Spaceman?
Sure. So I was going through a YouTube black hole, and
Of course.
I caught wind of a beat poet by Gil. He's Gil Scott Heron, and he wrote a song called "Whitey on the Moon," and it gave great inspiration for Spaceman, and that's just what he's talking about, and everything that he's saying back in the '60s is just right on the money as far as just what our government uses their money for. So
Yeah, Spaceman's not going to be your typical song that you would normally accumulate out of an alternative rock band.
Yeah.
But it will be our debut as a duo, with a little bit of our rock essence to it, but also with a hip hop and a gospel tribute to it as
See,
well.
that is
Which doesn't sound
creative.
like it would make a lot of sense, but once you hear it, you'll know.
no, I've told people that, and they're like, hip hop and gospel
That doesn't
and rock.
work.
That you guys can't. That's not going to work. But you know.
No, I'm excited to hear
We
that.
tested
That's
the
very
limits.
creative. I love that.
Oh, definitely. And so, okay, so with Spaceman coming out, you said that's y'all's first song of just the duo, right?
Yes.
Right? So is there other music that we can start looking forward to?
2022, there will be a brand new album.
Awesome.
Okay.
Packed full of songs just created from Joey and myself.
That is awesome.
Yeah, last year with COVID kind of gave us a lot of time to really let the creative juices flow a bit. So
There you go.
and get working with the new dynamic of just the two of us.
Yeah, we lost 2 members and decided to go with the duo post-COVID, and it's worked out great.
We absolutely can't wait to hear it
Yeah,
today.
I can't wait to hear that. Yes. And so when you're talking about how the juices flow and all that stuff, how do you create those songs? Like, do you have a process into creating them?
Our process usually just comes from what we do in the band practice room, which takes place at my house. But usually it's more or less, he'll come around, he'll have an idea in his head with a guitar riff of some sort. He'll jam on it for a minute or two. I'll come up with something behind it, and then we'll just kind of add a little bit of flourish to it at the end of that. Some of it may be things that he's pulling out from things that he's had from past that he's never had out, or it's just something totally new that we maybe have been inspired by recently,
Yeah.
and just something we want to integrate into a newer song that fits the flow of what we're currently doing.
Yeah. Nice.
That is awesome. So, last question for you guys today. If you could listen to one album for the rest of your life, just one, what would you pick?
That's
That's a loaded question right
It's a
there.
loaded question for sure.
Oh man.
well, probably my favorite album of all time, and I could listen to it until the day that I die.
Yeah.
Is the Pink Floyd The Wall. So
Oh, yes.
Ooh, that's a
Pink
good one.
Floyd.
It's an opera. It's theatrical. It's rock. It's the greatest piece of music that's ever been released.
For me, and again, it is a loaded question, but if I had to go back to what's hitting my mind right now,
Yeah.
and not to go back to on a Rush hit or not, but probably even Moving Pictures maybe, or even one of the greatest hits albums from The Police would probably be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Those
For
are good
me.
ones. That's
A
nice.
lot of inspiration comes from Stuart Copeland for me. So
Wow. Well, before we go, can you tell us your socials?
Yes, we are on Facebook, Instagram, but the easiest way to find us
Yeah.
is to go on to Google
Okay.
and type in Sleep Nation. You will get us and a mattress company.
Nice. Well, not the mattress company. Alrighty, and we'll be right back with the performance.
Spaceman, can you hear me? You're probably down here watching TV while you daydream with your ice cream and your new jeans with your new skin. Oh, what's the matter? What's the matter? What's the matter now? Lost it all and you don't care how. Giving up millions day by day. Challenger, cover up USFA, and can you hear me scream? Can you hear me, spaceman? Can you hear me? Can you hear me scream? Can you hear me, spaceman? Can you hear me? Spaceman, can you hear me? You're probably down here on a green screen, on a mainstream, with a live stream, a pipe dream running through your bloodstream. Oh, what's the matter, what's the matter, what's the matter now? Lost it all and you don't care how. Digging through the trash for something to eat, money for nothing and the space for free. Can you hear me scream? Can you hear me, spaceman? Can you hear me, hear me? Can you hear me scream? Can you hear me, spaceman? Can you hear me? Sweat is rolling down your neck from the Hollywood lights at the discotheque, from the blue suede shoes to the Memphis blues. JFK brought us the news. Elton John to the Rocket Man made his time floating in a tin can. Made it too far with Ziggy's band. Was screwed up eyes, he took my check. The bill had to got us, I'm a nervous wreck. Whitey on the moon with a snow white tan. Civil rights little bit about the fans. Spiders from Mars to the star man. Can you hear me scream? Can you hear me, spaceman? Can you hear me, hear me? Can you hear me scream? Can you hear me, spaceman? Can you hear me, hear me? Spaceman, you got me down on my knees, just a begging you please, won't you save me, save me? Spaceman, you got me down on my knees, just a begging you please, won't you save me, save me? Come down from your house on high, save me from that space in the sky, won't you save me, save me? Lay me down to sleep, pray the Lord my soul to keep my interstellar superstar, cosmonaut where you are. Can you hear me scream? Can you hear me, spaceman? Can you hear me? Can you hear me scream? Can you hear me, spaceman? Can you hear me?
And that wraps up tonight's episode.
Don't forget to check out Sleep Nation on our Spotify playlist and give them a follow on Instagram.
Remember, if you want to stay up to date on our upcoming shows, give us a follow on our Instagram. And if you want to watch past shows, you can watch our show on IGTV. See you next week.